Okay, we're going to, this is the drawing we're going to do this second one. So this is our second drawing for week 5. The first one is this bearing exercise that we did in lab this week. So to do this drawing, we're going to actually use our bearing exercise as a template. So I'm going to bring up my bearing exercise. I'll leave this in the background and I'll just rename it something else here. So in this bearing exercise, I'm going to do a file, save as. This is what you should do. And I didn't spell this right anyway, so I'm going to call it subdivision. And now we can see at the top if it's now called subdivision. So we'll take everything on here and delete it. We're going to go first of all to our units. So you can just type in units. We're going to change it back from feet to inches. We're going to change this to engineering. So everything will read out in feet dash 0.0 inches. And remember, when you're keying in information, you have to use the foot mark. Otherwise, it's going to think you're inserting it in inches. So you're going to override that with the foot mark. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. So this is all good. We need to create some new levels or rename some existing levels. So let's get that out of the way. Now, let's change azimuth to lots. We'll change bearing to lots dimensions. Bearing line is going to become lot labels. And we'll change dimensions to outline. North-south reference will be outline dimensions. Oops, can't. For some reason I keep wanting to. We'll leave title block there. We're going to create a new layer now. This one is going to be called road. We're going to create another new layer. This one's will be road center line. And another new one. This will be road labels. And that should do it. Now on the road center line, we want to, oh, that's fine. We want to change this from a center line to a hidden line. So just hit load. And we're going to say hidden. Hit OK. And hit OK there. So that's hidden. I think everything else should be continuous for now. Alrighty. Let's change our road color to, we'll use this fuchsia color so we can see the difference. And our road labels will make those green. Our lot dimensions, outline dimensions, we'll make these, oh, we'll go with a funky lime color right there. Oh, that's not lime. There we go. Alright, so that looks good. We'll just close this out now. We'll do a file, save. And before we actually start drawing, let's go set up our annotation. So we're going to start with our text. So click on your standard and we'll just say manage text styles. We'll create a new one here and we'll call it our subdivision. And for our subdivision, we're actually going to start with our text height at 20 feet. And just say apply and we'll say set current and close. Now let's go to our dimensions. We're going to create a new dimension. We'll use civil as the back. And we're going to call this one subdivision. Continue. And let's go through it. Our unit format is going to be decimal, precision 0. We'll use the foot mark on the suffix, and our scale factor is going to be 1 divided by 12. Okay, let's look at our symbols and arrows. We want our arrow lines to be 6 feet. So 6 and the foot mark. Our text is going to be 10 feet. Oops. A line with dimensions is fine. On your symbols and arrows, we're going to go with line, and 0.5 is good. Our break size, let's make that let's say 1. It should be 1 inch, just to see how it is. Primary units, that's all set. I think that should do it. So we've got our lots, we've got our dimensions, we've got our units. So we'll say OK, and then close this out. We'll set it to current so it makes sure it grabs it. Now, lastly, before we start drawing, we're going to type in the command LT SCALE, LT scale, and set it to 400. Because again, we're working with a pretty big drawing here. And then type in PSLT scale and make sure that's set to 0. And we're ready to start drawing. So if you look in your textbook on page 441, it shows us a set of lines. So we'll just start with our line. We're going to be working in our outline. I probably want that to be a fairly thick line weight. So we'll just start anywhere, and we'll go vertical. Make sure that your snap reference lines are on. My object snapping is on. Everything else is there. Our dynamic input is also on. So we're going to key in a distance, first of all, of 313 feet. So 313 and the foot mark. I'll right click and then double click so that we can get out. So this line is 303 feet long. Click the line tool again, and we're going to go horizontal now, 100 feet. Again, use the foot mark. We're going to go vertical, 50 feet. And then we're going to go horizontal, 475 feet. We're going to go straight down a distance of 100 feet. Okay, that's the upper portion of our border. Now what I want you to do is select all of those lines, select your mirror tool. We're going to grab this point and just mirror it along this horizontal axis. It says, do you want to erase your source objects? You're going to hit enter for no. There's the back end of our subdivision. Now we're going to take our circle tool. If you look in the book, it tells you to use your 2-point circle tool. You're going to grab a point right here and a point right here. If I right click, then it wants us to do a circle by center. So we change it back to circle by center. Left click, and we're going straight up a distance of, it's a 400 foot diameter circle, so we're going to go 200 feet. Foot mark. Okay. Now we're going to trim it. So remember, all we do is type in TR, and it automatically will pick up trim as the first command. Hit enter. Always make sure, in this case, you're going to hit enter again because you want to select everything. We're not being picky. And we're going to delete this line, we're going to delete this line, and we're going to delete this line. So here's the outline of our subdivision. Now we're going to join all these together so they become one line string. So take your selection tool and select everything. Oops. There we go. And type in the word join and hit enter. Now you'll notice when you grab this, everything is all one piece. So our consistent depth of lot here, whether they did this just to make it easy or not, I'm not sure, but we're going to select this tool right here, which is our offset tool. Click the offset tool. We're going to hit enter. Everything through. Just left click on this object and bring it straight in a distance of 110 feet. Okay. Now we can take this line. Whoops. Take this line, select it. We're going to change this to the road line. Now our road is 16 feet wide. Not a very wide road, but we'll... That's interesting. Road. I want my road center line to be hidden. And this one should be continuous. There we go. That's better. So now we're going to offset this. Just left click on it. Oops. Offset. Select it first, I guess. Oh, got to hit enter. Offset. Left click. Keep doing it backwards. Now hit enter. Now we can left click on the line. We're going to bring it in a distance of 16 feet. And we've got a center line now, so we're going to do that again. Hit enter. We're going to left click and bring this one in 8 feet. We're going to select this line, hit enter, and change it to our road center line. Boy, all of our lines are thick there. What's up with that? Yeah, just the way it's showing up on the screen, I guess. Alright, so now, if I turn that off, it looks better, but I shouldn't think that these line weight from my road I guess it's just showing it thicker because of the settings I have. It's easier to see for you anyway. So now we're going to take our center line option, road center line. Oh, that's why. This should all be by layer. Why was that set that way? So let me just select everything. This should be by layer. Go back to our layer properties, we'll see that our outline should be, we'll say 35. We can say our road wants to be 18. I think everything should be fine. That's a little better now. Okay, back to where we were. Road center line. We're going to put an exit road in here by just finding the center point, which is right here. It's actually an end point because remember we mirrored that. Bring it over until it is perpendicular to that line. And then we can offset this a distance, hit enter. We're going to offset this 8 feet and 8 feet on the other side. No, not 8 inches. Idiot. Alright, try it again. Losing my cool here. There we go. 8 feet, and then this one is 8 feet. Yeah, that looks better. And we're going to select both of these lines. Have to hit escape a couple times to get out of it. We're going to change these to the road lines. And we'll just come in here and type in TR for trim. And I want to trim out this line. Oops. TR for trim and hit enter. Always forget that. and we'll trim out these lines so it gives us that intersection for the road. Kind of a funky looking road, plus with these got this hairpin turn here that ought to be fun, but we'll follow the book. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our dimensions up here in the top for our outline dimensions. So I'm going to go ahead and change to my outline dimension layer. We'll click this option. There's 475, so I'm going to bring this up a good distance. And oops. And I'll just pop these in. Wants to get that dimension line. Just hit escape. I'll grab this endpoint and just bring it up here where it belongs. Now we'll try it again. Dimension. There it is. Just had to wiggle the mouse a little bit. Okay, there's our dimension lines for the outer portion. We've also got a arc here, so if we click this tool again, we just want to grab this arc and we'll bring this one out and we'll bring this one out. So it's going to put those center marks on there. Those are part of the dimensions, so that's fine. I'm going to grab both of those and we'll set them up as center lines. There we go. That looks fine. All right. So our next thing we're going to do is we're going to place our streets in here, our street names. And the street names, we'll zoom into this street. This street up here at the top is called Peach. They call it Peach Drive. Yep. So we have to use M text on this, and I'll tell you why, is because we want it to disappear in the background. So I'm just going to left click up here and I'll just create some text. This is M text, means multi-line text, and we're going to type in Peach Drive. Click outside, and I just click on it. We're going to click Properties, right click and say Properties, and I want this to be for my road text, it's going to be 6 feet. Line spacing factor, I'll put in 0.1. Oops, let's put in 1. There we go. Line spacing distance, I'll put 1 there. Just nope, that one doesn't like it either. We'll leave it the way it is. We'll change it to middle center. We're going to bring this arrow back. Now here's the thing. See, I think that's why this needs to be, let's try 2 feet. Nope. Anyway, we'll see if this works. Background mask. I'm going to click this little icon and say use a background mask, and use the drawing background color to mask it, and just say OK. Now when you actually place this down in the road, you'll notice it blocks out that little line. You can actually bring this arrow in now. So when I hit escape, it actually separates what the background is by using that item. So we're going to take this item again, and we'll just use this now to copy this down to the bottom, because this is also Peach Drive. And we'll move this one over here. This is Oak something or other. And then I'm just going to move this one. I may have to rotate this, but we'll see how it goes. Put that right there for now. And we'll copy it down just so I have one down here to work with. So if I look on this one, I gotta remember what these are called. Cherry Drive. So we just come here, just double click on it, and we'll just change Peach to Cherry. Oak Drive. Now this one is Oak Loop, they call it in the book. So we'll just double click it. I'm going to type in Oak Loop. Grab this. We're going to pull the sides in on it. Yeah, a little too much. There. I should be able to rotate this. Pull like that. And then just move it down here so it sticks into the road. We'll do the same thing down here. Actually, I'm just going to delete that one. I'll grab this one up here on the top. Whoops, what happened to it? Are they connected? If I click that one, alright. Guess it was it was still selected. That's what happened. So we'll grab this one. I'll just right click and say copy. And we'll copy this one. Actually, I can just put it on this side. You want to try to get that black as much out of the way as you can. So there's our road labels. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our lots in here. And our lots are shown on page, what's the lot dimensions? Now they're shown on page 444. So we're going to change to our I bet I drew those labels in the wrong level, didn't I? So I'm just going to select all 5 of them. Right up here and just change this to road labels. Yep, okay. Sorry about that. And now we'll go to our lots. So these will be in blue. We'll come up here to the top and just start with a smart line. I'm just going to go right over here, top and bottom. And from this top line here, it's 150 feet over. So just take your smart line, let it settle right there. When you see endpoint, bring it over and just key in 150 foot mark. And we just bring it straight down until it is perpendicular to the road. And same thing from the other side. We're just going to lock it in here, bring it to the left 150 feet and come straight down, lock it to the road. We've got a lot line connecting this endpoint and this endpoint. We've got a lot line going all the way through the middle off that endpoint, and then we've got, it's 150 feet off this corner. So we'll just lock it in here, bring it over 150 feet, and then just go straight down all the way through both of these. So there's 4 lots in the center. Let's finish these up here. We've got 1 lot. Right from this point, it comes down until it touches perpendicular to the edge of the road. Same thing on this side. Bring it up until it's perpendicular. Oops, I think it's my mouse. There we go. Is that straight? There. Sometimes you got to zoom in. And we've got another line goes right through that center line. So we got 2 lots here. Then we've got a line that goes from this vertex to this vertex, and it mirrors it on the other side. And now we've got 2 lines that actually line up with these 2 lines on the top. So if you want to be lazy, you can just let it click right there until you see endpoint and just pull it straight down. You see how that dotted ghost line comes up? When I get through these, just left click and then go down until it finds, whoa, hit the right mouse button by accident, sorry. Left click, get out to perpendicular, right click and start it here, just let it settle, bring it straight down, find that point, left click, and then bring it down until it touches. So we have all our lots now laid out except for one. We have a lot line that is 200 feet from this line, so just take your line tool, we'll start at this point right here, let it settle, bring it over 200 feet, and I'll just go vertical until it touches that line, and I can just select it and drag it straight down until it touches that one. There we go. Now what we're going to do is label these lots. So I'm going to turn off my dimension layer. So outline dimensions, just hit this little light bulb and that'll turn it off. And we are going to lot labels. Lot labels are red. And they don't need to be, put them at 0.18. Now I'm going to go check my other subdivision drawing, and I want to go look at the model because I ended up with two different sizes. Probably I want to use the larger one so that all of my circles are about the same size. So if I just left click on this and go to properties, that one has a diameter of 53 feet. Let's make it a 50-foot diameter, so we'll go 25-foot radius. Alright, so back to subdivision. We're in here, we're going to draw, let's go with just a single line text. Just left click, hit your enter key, and we're going to type in the number 1 and just left click outside and then hit your escape key. And then we're going to place a circle. We're going to find the center point of the circle right at the center of the number. We're going to key this out at 25 feet. And I want to select that number and go to properties and make sure that it is center justified. Top center. Okay, center justified. Hopefully that'll work. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to double click it and check it. I'm going to go 21. Yep. So call it 1. We're going to select the whole thing and then take your copy tool and just copy that and place it inside every lot all the way around. Okay, this one's lot 1, double click, lot 2, double click, lot 3, double click, lot 4, that one's lot 5, kind of goes right around the perimeter, lot 6, lot 7, lot 8, lot 9, 10, there's lot 11, 12, and they move up here. This one's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, just like that. And now what we're going to do is, if you look on page back on 444, we've got some dimensions for the lots that we're going to put in here. So we're going to go, let me get rid of this one, and I'm going to turn on my other dimension so I can make sure that I'm not putting too much in there. So we're going to go ahead with our lot dimensions now. So I'm going to make that my, oops, turn it on, active level, lot dimensions, and we'll start at the top. So we're going to go, we can probably use, no, I'm going to want to use my linear dimension now. So we're going to go from this point to this point. That one is 100 feet. Right click. We're going to go from this point to this point. Line it up. And we'll just work our way around here. We'll get a vertical dimension from here to there. It's 110. And right click, I'm going to go from this point to this point. It's 110. We're going right to the edge of the road on this one. Gives us 195, so it should be the same thing over here on this side, leaving the space between the roads. And again, because this is symmetrical, they didn't dimension everything, just the stuff that's important. So if it's the same as another dimension, they don't really need to show that. It just kind of insinuates that the lines are going to be symmetrical. And we know that this point from here to here is going to be, whoa, that's not right. It's supposed to be 200 feet. What did I do? If I click this line and I say move from this point, I could say I want to add 6 feet to it. Okay, must have messed up. And then you just need to grab these endpoints and bring them back to the edge of the road. Okay, my mistake. And a couple more dimensions here. We got this one to this point should be 110, and from this point to this point is 110. And that is all they give us for dimensions. So we will, put a title on the bottom of this now. We'll just use our single line text. I'm going to do this in the title block layer, but I'll put it in here. This is going to be called the White Oak Subdivision. I can grab it and just kind of center it right about there. Let's go look at our 11 by 17 title block now. You can see that if I bring it all the way in, I know that the scale that I want on this is going to be 1 inch equals, I forgot. Let's go check our other one. 11 by 17, 1 inch equals 100 feet. So we're going to click our model and we're going to go over here, and I don't have 1 inch equals 100 feet. So we're going to go down to the bottom. We're going to say custom and hit add. We're going to say 1 inch equals 100 feet. And then paper units is going to stay 1, and we're going to put 100 feet. Make sure you put the foot mark in there. Just say OK and OK. And now when we select 1 inch equals 100 feet, it will resize it. Okay, while we're in the model, let's go set up our line weights. So we'll go layer properties, move down to the right. So I want this to be black, and I basically want everything to print out in black for now. And there. So everything's black. The outside the lots, we should make at, let's say, 0.4. The lot labels, we don't want those, we want those at 0.18. Let's go 0.20 on the lot labels. Lots, lot dimensions, 0.18. Outline dimensions, let's change that to 0.5. Our outline dimensions stay at 0.18. Our road, we'll make that a 0.4. And actually, let's make it the same as, we'll make it 0.3, because our lots are they're 0.4. Yeah, that'll work. Center line, let's make that 0.18. And road labels are 0.18. And our title block, we'll give that a 0.20. And these are alphabetical, so everything should be kind of lined up that way. If you notice your lines, everything's kind of messed up, you can click this name and it will reorder them in that alphabetical order. So let's try that. We'll say OK. And we're going to go over now to our paper, double click on our title block, and we're going to name this one the White Oak Subdivision. I'm tired of Orno. Let's make this over in Holden. We'll give it today's date, which is 2/9/16. And the scale is 1 inch equals 100 feet. So if I zoom in, I can see my line weights here. My road labels are showing up pretty good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to right click why that preview is showing my old drawing. We'll right click, we'll go to our page setup manager, and we'll hit modify. We're going to make sure this goes to DWG to PDF. No plot style in there. Layout. We'll hit a preview. There it is. Now we can close it out and hit cancel or close. What we want to do is just right click and say plot now. And I neglected to save that. And we'll hit preview again. And if I want to take a look, make sure my lines are all in good shape. That should show up as a hidden line. So, close that preview window, cancel that. So if I type in, and that center line should be in, I'm going to type LT scale, say 1, LT, oh, that's why. Because it was making it 400 of the actual, so just call it 1. LT scale 1 on your viewport. And I think if you go back to your model, well, let's try this again. 400 is what we had. That's what it should look like. And that's PSLT scale. Oh, it should be 0. I thought I'd set that to 0. Back here. There we go. So now it's showing up correctly. And we're going to right click now and we'll say plot again. Oh, hopefully it does. We'll say DWG to PDF PC3 preview. Yes. Now my line weights and styles are right. We'll hit the printer button. We're going to put this in our desktop, my CA101 home, PDFs. I'll just replace this subdivision, hit save. Yes, I want to overwrite it. And if we zoom in on it, we can see how our line weights come out. It looks pretty good. Okay, to a file. And what you're going to do is upload this into week 5, and I don't have it ready yet. This is Tuesday, so it'll be ready by Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. I'll upload it to the site for you. So that'll be our week 5. So we're going to have 2 pieces of homework to submit, and I'll probably make 2 assignment folders in Blackboard. It'll say week 5 assignment 1, which will be the traverse, and then we'll have week 5 assignment 2, which will be the White Oak subdivision, and you'll submit both of those in Blackboard. They'll be due by the end of next week, which gives you plenty of time to get her done. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks.